Every car on the road has this specific item, but some of us still do not know how to differentiate them. I'm of course referring to your car's tyre. Each tyre has specific markings. So what do they mean? Welcome to Auto Driven, and today we will be discussing on the different tyre sizes and how to tell them apart. Just a disclaimer, there are many more aspects that make up a tyre, and this video only serves as a general guide. But before we begin, do remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and click on the bell icon. When you first look at a car's tyre, you will notice these numbers and letters along the side. These may seem foreign, but let me break it down for you. First, you will have the width of the tyre in millimeters, in this case 255. Next, we will have this number, in this case 40, which represents the height of the sidewall as a percentage of the width of the tyre. In this case, 40% of 255. This is also known as the aspect ratio. Next, we have the letter R and the number 19. The R represents the type of tyre and how it was built, basically meaning that this is a radial tyre, while B or D represent bias tyres. In most situations nowadays, you will only find radial tyres, as these are the most commonly used today, offering better fuel economy and longer tyre life, while also crucially being more cost effective to manufacture. Bias tyres are still around today, but are mostly used in construction equipment or heavy trailers, as they are able to withstand heavier loads and are not as prone to punctures. On the other hand, the 19 represents the diameter of the rim in inches. Therefore, this tyre is made for a 19-inch rim. While larger rims are more aesthetically pleasing or chill in some cases, they can also cause performance issues such as slower acceleration and braking due to their bigger size and weight. So next time, if you're considering to buy a larger rim size to make your car more chill, it is worth noting the performance versus the aesthetics. Lastly, you may come across a number and symbol at the end, such as 100Y. This actually represents the load and speed rating of the tyre at full load. For the case of this tyre, the 100 represents a maximum load capacity of 800 kilograms, and the Y denotes a top rated speed of 300 km per hour. As for when you should change your tyres, there really isn't a definite time or total distance where you have to change your tyres, as it really depends on your driving habits. As a helpful guide, most tyres nowadays will come with an indicator, such as these grooves, which are placed well below the tread level. If your tread levels are worn until they are basically even with these grooves, it's best to change your tyres, as your tyres are basically worn out already. While you still can technically drive with worn tyres, or commonly known as botak tyres in our country, you will experience a huge loss of grip, and your tyres are more prone to punctures as the tread is not there to protect your tyres. For a good guide, you can check your tyres once every 1 to 2 months and see if they need replacements. And if your tyre is really old, like for example more than 5 years old, you should probably get them checked. If you don't know when your tyre was manufactured, you can try searching for the dot code, which is here. The most important part of the dot code is actually the 4 numbers at the back, which actually denote when the tyre was manufactured. In this case, this tyre was manufactured on the 45th week of the year, and it was made in 2018. The rest of the dot code help to identify the manufacturer and the tyre size. After roughly 10 to 12,000 km of driving, it is a common and good practice to swap your front and rear tyres with each other, also known as rotating. As braking puts more pressure on your front tyres, these will wear out more quickly. By swapping your front and your rear tyres with each other, you give your tyres more life, which saves you money. Obviously, your tyres will need air in order for them to function. However, you shouldn't put too much or too little air into them. With too little air, you will actually increase your drag and thus your fuel consumption. And with too much air, you will actually make your car unstable while driving, and your tyres are also more prone to punctures. If you see your tyres are a little deflated, you can always head down to any petrol station and give them a quick pump. It's free anyway. Tyres. Most vehicles need them, and it's good to check on them from time to time to make sure that you're driving or riding safe on our roads. Tyres are also available at basically any price point, And there really isn't a superior brand. Some tyres may be more expensive, but they also offer more benefits in situations like braking or repelling water during heavy rains, reducing the likelihood of a potential accident. So now the question is, do I really need expensive tyres? To me, it really depends on what and how you drive. If you're the kind that likes to enthusiastically drive and you value performance, then by all means, get your car some good rubber. But if you're the kind that likes to just drive from point A to point B without any fuss, then there's nothing wrong with cheaper and more economical tyres. Hope you learned something new today. Do remember to like, share and subscribe. And I'll catch you again on Auto Driven. Motorist. Some tyres may be more expensive, but they offer more benefits in terms of situations like braking or in heavy rain. Which is the height of the tyres I was putting on the width? Hey, wait Suddenly my mind blank. Wait. And I'll catch you again on Auto Driven.
Your right hand over lah.
Ayo, yeah I know,
See,
but
right hand.
I hold like that ma.
You try again?
Hi.